In our lifetime, we absorb facts, information, and skills. We get our theoretical and practical understanding through education and experience. It's called knowledge. Welcome to television's longest-running high school quiz show, Knowledge Bowl. Let's join two of our 16 competing Northeast Michigan high schools and our host, Astrid Fitzpatrick, for today's match.
Hello, welcome to Knowledge Bowl, Michigan's longest-running quiz show. I'm your host, Astrid Fitzpatrick. Today our game is between Standish and Alpena. We'll start by introducing our teams. First from Standish, starting with their captain.
Joe Gelman, senior.
Mackenzie Martin, sophomore.
Madison Schwab, junior.
Jonathan Dent, senior.
Katie Van Haren, junior.
Isabella Krajewski, senior.
Grace Bowerson, senior.
And they're joined by their coach, Jennifer Gelman. And our team from Alpena, starting with the captain.
Sarah McMaster, senior.
Angela Salicata, junior.
Shane Possets, senior.
Michelle McClendon, senior.
And they're joined by their coach, Laura Coleman. I'd also like to thank our judges today, Matthew Fitzpatrick and Joey Griskowiak, for being here today. Our first round is the toss-up round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
Round 1 is a toss-up format. A question will be asked, and the first competitor to ring in has the opportunity to answer the question. If a correct answer is given, the team is awarded 10 points. No consulting is allowed. If the answer is incorrect, then the question goes to the opposing team to answer.
All right, let's get started with our first question. Identify the poisonous black syrup used by South American tribes as an arrow poison for hunting. It is also used as a relaxant in surgical anesthesia. Michelle?
Acetylcholine.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? And the correct answer was curare. Its atomic number is 29. It has a brilliant color and is somewhat heavier than iron. It is the only metal which occurs widely distributed in nature in the free state. Name it.
Tin.
Oh, sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Madison?
Copper.
That's correct. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Quote the line of poetry that precedes that line from Hamlet. Angela?
To be or not to be?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Right, the correct answer was good night, sweet prince. Name the only country that shares borders with 3 other Central American states. Angela?
Bolivia?
Sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Joe?
Honduras.
That's correct. What is the logarithm of 1.0? Joe?
0.
That's correct. In the highly publicized 1993 trial involving Woody Allen, the court awarded custody of his children to whom? Angela?
Martin Scorsese.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Joe?
Woody Allen.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was Mia Farrow. Toni Morrison is the first African-American woman to win a Nobel Prize. Name the field for which she was awarded the prize. Angela?
Literature.
That's correct. Identify the commercial method for synthesizing ammonia by the direct combination of nitrogen and hydrogen under high pressure in the presence of a catalyst consisting mainly of iron. The correct answer was Haber process. What color are the algae in the phylum Cyanophyta? Angela?
Blue. Blue-green.
That's correct, blue-green. What Puritan punishment was a device in which both hands and head were locked in a wooden frame? Madison?
Stocks.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Alpena? Angela?
The Iron Maiden.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was the pillory. The stocks had only the hands, not the head. Tony borrowed $1,500 at 11% annual interest. He paid the loan back in 1 year and 8 months. How much interest did he pay? Angela?
Is it 16? 16.
I'm sorry, that's
1,000.
incorrect. Standish? And the correct answer was $275. There are 365 days in a year. Which is the heaviest travel day in the United States? Shane?
Is it Christmas Day?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish?
Labor Day.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was the day before Thanksgiving. Solve the following equation. 2x squared equals 22x minus 204. And the correct answer was 6 and negative 17. I'm looking for a year that ends in 0. Alexander Borodin's opera Prince Igor was performed for the first time. Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray was published. Rubber gloves were used in surgery for the first time at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. Vincent van Gogh died, and Idaho and Wyoming became states in the United States. Shane?
1870.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Joe?
1850.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was 1890. Which African nation has the longest border which is contiguous with the Mediterranean Sea? Angela?
Algeria.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? The correct answer was Libya. What country is divided in two by the Cook Strait? Angela?
Malawi and Uganda.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Joe?
Egypt.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was New Zealand. What's the name given to the stroke of a conductor's hand or baton indicating the first beat of each measure? Angela?
Pickup note?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Okay, the correct answer was downbeat. A 12-year-old American boy, Penrod Schofield, and his mongrel dog, Duke, are characters in a novel by what author? Angela?
Charles Dickens.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Right, the correct answer was Booth Tarkington. And that's all the time we have for our first round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Welcome back. So far we've got Standish with a score of 30 and Alpena very closely behind with a score of 20. Our next round is the bonus round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
This is the bonus round. It consists of toss-up questions, as in round 1. However, this is the twist. The team answering correctly then gets 4 bonus questions. For each question answered correctly, a series of points will be awarded. Team members can consult, but only the team captain can answer the question. After an incorrect answer, the toss-up portion begins again for both teams.
All right. Karl Marx and Adam Smith may not agree on many points, but they do agree that this commodity establishes a universal standard of value. According to both men, what one commodity measures all other economic value? Angela?
Gold.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Right, the correct answer was labor or work. A transformer has 100 primary windings and 1,000 secondary windings. If the primary amperage is 10 amps, what is the secondary amperage? Angela?
100 amps.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? The correct answer was 1 amp. Identify the English word that starts with the letter I and is a synonym for bankruptcy. The correct answer was insolvency. The essence of freedom is the practicability of purpose. So wrote a 20th century English philosopher and mathematician, author of the book Adventures of Ideas. Who was he? Angela?
John Locke.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? And the correct answer was Alfred North Whitehead. Who wrote the book A Century of Dishonor, which provided documentary evidence of the government's broken promises to the American Indian? Angela?
Henry David Thoreau.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? And the correct answer was Helen Hunt Jackson. Suleiman the Magnificent ruled over his country at the height of its power in the mid-1500s. He codified the laws and built a powerful navy. Over what great empire did he rule? Madison?
Spain.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Alpena? Angela?
The Moors.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was the Ottoman Empire. What is the logarithm of 0.01? Joe?
-2.
That's correct. Okay, and these are questions about Ben Franklin's political life. In 1775, Benjamin Franklin organized the post office and became the first American to hold what position?
Postmaster General.
That's correct. Franklin and John Adams assisted Thomas Jefferson in the drafting of what document?
The Declaration of Independence.
That's correct. Franklin and Adams were also together as the American Peace Commissioners who negotiated the treaty ending the American Revolution. What treaty?
Treaty of Paris.
That's correct. At the Constitutional Convention, with tensions so high that dissolution seemed likely, he proposed that each session be opened with what activity?
Prayer.
That's correct. Okay. CNN reported that this vegetable contains substances that can protect rats from breast cancer. Which vegetable is it? Michelle?
Cucumber?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Joe?
Lettuce.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was broccoli. Drinking what during meals slows blood clotting and thus may have a protective effect against heart disease? Shane?
Water.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish?
Wine.
That's correct. It was red wine. Okay, I'll give you a work and its author and you tell me what war it was set in. The Last of the Mohicans by James Fenimore Cooper.
French and Indian War.
That's correct. Henry V by William Shakespeare.
The 100 Years' War.
Sorry, that's incorrect. It was the Harvey War. Petroleum is, as it comes from the earth, is called what? Jonathan?
Crude oil.
That's correct. Okay, name these inventors who have become household words. The man who discovered the process for vulcanization of rubber also invented the rubber dental plate. Who was he?
Goodyear.
That's correct. The rigid dirigible airship was the brainchild of what German count?
Zeppelin.
That's correct. What man developed instant photography in 1948?
Kodak.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Land. Okay, what letter must be added to the word meaning leaving no balance or debt on either side to create a word referring to one of the cardinal numbers between 1 and 20? Madison?
S.
That's correct. S turning even to 7. Okay, and we're going to answer these questions with right or left. Does the Statue of Liberty have her right or left hand raised?
Left.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was right. Okay, what is the correct term for an unauthorized absence from school? Michelle?
Unexcused absence.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Joe?
Truancy.
That's correct. Okay, and these are our words vocabulary words beginning with C. Does consort mean nobleman, partner, criminal, or jelly?
Partner.
That's correct. Does contingency mean necessity, accident, self-restraint, or nearness?
Nearness.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Correct answer was accident. Okay, what Alaskan city was named for Teddy Roosevelt's vice president? Angela?
McKinley.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? The correct answer was Fairbanks. If 500 sheets of paper make a pile 3 inches deep, how many sheets are there in a pile a foot high? Shane?
20. 2,000.
2,000, that's correct. Okay, associate these events with the correct president. Era of good feeling.
Jefferson.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer was Monroe. And that's all the time we have for our bonus round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Okay, welcome back. So far, we've got Standish with a score of 155, and Alpena's got a score of 30. Our next round is the 60-second round, but before we start that, here are the rules.
This is our 60-second round. The team with the lowest score selects from one of the 4 categories of 10 questions. The team that has 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. Each correct answer is worth 10 points. Any missed questions will then be answered by the opposing team. An additional 20-point bonus is awarded for answering all 10 questions correctly.
Right, and Standish is also joined by alternate Grace Bowerson today, too. Right, and we're starting with Alpena. They've chosen the category nouns. It's a group of related Scotsmen led by a chieftain.
Pass.
Pass.
It's a ceremonial dinner or the type of hall in which it's held.
Penguin.
That's correct.
Sorry.
It's a building or group of buildings on an army base for housing soldiers.
Barracks.
That's correct. An extreme shortage of long duration that affects all or most of the population in a region is called what?
Drought.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. This scarf wrapped around the head is now chiefly worn by Muslims. What's it called?
Hijab.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The 17th Amendment, ratified in 1913, provides for the direct election of which group of political office holders?
Senators.
That's correct. Plumbing fixtures are typically made of what general category of ceramics?
Porcelain.
That's correct. What is the name of the fruit of the grass family?
Sugar.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Which animal was Athena's chief symbol? Okay. In Standish. It's a group of related Scotsmen led by a chieftain.
Clan.
That's correct. An extreme shortage of long duration that affects all or most of the population in a region is called what?
Famine.
That's correct. This scarf wrapped around the head is now chiefly worn by Muslims. What's it called?
Turban.
That's correct. And what is the name of the fruit of the grass family?
Beet.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Okay, and Standish has chosen the category National Historic Sites. Okay, I'll name the National Historic Site and you name the state it's in. Fort Vancouver National Historic Site.
Washington.
That's correct. Harry S. Truman National Historic Site.
Mississippi.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Martin Luther King National Historic Site.
Alabama.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Golden Spike National Historic Site.
Pass.
Herbert Hoover National Historic Site.
Colorado.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Longfellow National Historic Site.
New York.
Sorry, that's incorrect. John Muir National Historic Site.
New York.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Martin Van Buren National Historic Site.
New Jersey.
Sorry, that's incorrect. William Howard Taft National Historic Site.
Pennsylvania.
Sorry, that's incorrect. And Tuskegee Institute National Historical Site.
Alabama.
That's correct. Right, and Alpena, Harry S. Truman National Historical Site.
New York.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Martin Luther King National Historical Site.
Maryland.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Golden Spike National Historical Site.
Utah.
That's correct. Herbert Hoover National Historical Site.
Nevada.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Longfellow National Historical Site.
Ohio.
Sorry, that's incorrect. John Muir National Historical Site.
Vermont.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Martin Van Buren National Historical Site.
Virginia.
Sorry, that's incorrect. And William Howard Taft National Historical Site.
New York.
Sorry, that's incorrect. And that's all we have for our 60-second round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. All right, welcome back. So far, we've got Standish with a score of 205, and Alpena's got a score of 80. Our last round is the toss-up round, just like the first round, so we'll get started with that. What did West Germans refer to as the Wall of Shame? Joe?
The Berlin Wall.
That's correct. A book published in London in 1975 revealed an important untold story of military intelligence in World War II well before America entered the war. Shane?
Bridge of Spies.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. England did something that continued to give the Allies an incredible advantage over the Germans and served to shorten the war by several years. What was that accomplishment? Then we go to Standish. And the correct answer was that they broke the German code. Although the British act of attacking the German code was a better kept secret, American intelligence units had their own successes which contributed to victory. Whose code did America break? Joe?
Japan's.
That's correct. What Andrew Lloyd Webber musical features the showstopper Don't Cry for Me, Argentina? Angela?
Evita.
That's correct. 5 people simultaneously begin to boil eggs at different places. Where will the eggs be fully cooked last? Madrid, Spain, the North Pole, Perth, Australia, Lake Titicaca, Peru, or the Mojave Desert in California? Michelle?
Peru.
That's correct. What do we call a school that trains students to be priests, ministers, or rabbis? Sarah?
Seminary.
That's correct. The peace treaties of which wars were signed in Paris in 1763, 1783, 1856, and 1898? And the correct answers in order were French and Indian War, American Revolution, Crimean War, and Spanish-American War. Some 700 miles south of Cairo on the Nile River is the Abu Simbel archaeological site. The site houses 2 structures built by the Egyptians in the 13th century BC. What kind of structures are on this site? Mackenzie?
Pyramids.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Alpena? Angela?
Sphinxes.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. Correct answer was temples. Give the Roman numeral for 1099. And the correct answer was MXCIX. What is the remainder when P of x equals x to the 100th power minus 2x to the 50th power plus 3x plus 1 is divided by x plus 1? And the correct answer was -3. Although his name is generally Latinized, he is also known as Kung Fu Tzu, meaning Master Kung. He precepts compromise one of the dominant world religions. Name him. Angela?
Confucius.
That's correct. Thermal energy is converted into mechanical energy in which of the following? Water wheel, pulley system, diesel engine, windmill, or generator? Shane?
Diesel engine.
That's correct. If while putting your putting your ball strikes another ball, what is your penalty? Shane?
1 stroke.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Joe?
No penalty.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was 2 strokes. A car has a mass of 1,000 kilograms. What is its weight in newtons? Joe?
9,800 newtons.
That's correct. What compound is both a reactant and product in photosynthesis? Michelle?
Oxygen.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? Jonathan?
Hydrogen.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was water. Finish this Gloria Steinem quotation. A woman without a man is like a... Angela?
Chair standing on the floor.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Standish? The correct answer was a fish without a bicycle. Give me the scientific names of the 3 bones that meet at the shoulder. Sarah?
The clavicle, humerus, and scapula.
That's correct. Its government has 5 independent branches: executive, legislative, judicial, examination, and control. Name this country with a ruling 14% minority Chinese population. Angela?
Taiwan.
That's correct. Cool. This special type of chord consists of a root note as well as a 3rd and 5th above the root. Such a chord is called a what? Angela?
Major chord.
That's correct. The constellation Hercules looks as if he is poised to pluck what instrument from the sky? Joe?
Harp.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Michelle?
A lyre?
Lear, that's correct. That's all the time we have for our last round. We'll be right back with some updated scores. Hey, welcome back. Our final scores are Standish with 235 and Alpena with 170. So congratulations to our winners today from Standish. Join us next week when we'll have Standish versus Atlanta. And I'll leave you with a quote from Carl Jung: "Knowledge lies not in truth alone, but in error also. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's why they put the little erasers on pencils." Have a nice day.